I think if you're new to script, start experimenting with rules, primarily because it will get you in the way of thinking about how you can use automation to help you manage the account. And rules are relatively easy to set up. Of course, there is a downside of rules that they only run. What is the current frequency? A couple of times a day? Once a day, right? And you can run scripts like every hour.
Yep.
And also with scripts, you have way more flexibility compared to rules. But for easy things like, for instance, pause every keyword that had over 100 clicks and 0 conversions. So that way you can pause keywords automatically that do not perform. That is something that you can really easily do using automated rules.
My biggest frustration with automated rules is that they limit you to one date range and one scope of the thing you're looking at. So you can't really do relative comparisons. And Nils, like you were saying with the queries, it's really interesting to look at stuff that's really gaining or really declining, but that requires 2 date ranges, and an automated rule doesn't give that to you, right? So now you're limited to saying, find me all the stuff with more than 50 impressions last week, but every week you see the same things, and what we want to see is what's different, and that's not possible through a rule. And that's when you start looking at maybe putting a script in place which can pull those multiple date ranges.
I'm actually a big fan of a lot of the built-in automations that are out there. Again, from the bidding standpoint, they're better than they have been in a long time. I used to fight them hardcore, let there be no question about it. Total control freak.
We all did.
But now I buy into them. They have a tendency to work a lot better than they used to. I think that the systems have learned. And I think there's I don't want to call it Amazoning something, but I think there's a level of the people monitoring what scripts are running, or at least understanding the use cases enough where the best of the best are getting rolled into the main UI of things, right? These are the terms that searches show up for, is essentially a really, really light n-gram report, right? It doesn't really have any data behind it. That's what it is. That's a kind of a cool thing that it's in the system now. So I tend to be pretty pleased about those innovations in there.